All right, so back on this 317. I've already got the, I actually just went ahead and used the X 748 to set the engine down in here. It's just sitting in here, it's very loose. I did take the time to line up the, make sure you can see this, line up the drive shaft with the stub shaft down there. I also took out the battery tray and the front, kind of the firewall here. That's mostly just to access all of these wires, etc., that we need to get to. So we'll have to go do all of that. I also have bought a new ground. I need to decide where I want to put it. I think I'm just going to run it underneath the battery box and over to our ground, the hanger or pickup point on the engine, just like all the Onans are. So what I want to do now is I'm going to go ahead and slide the engine in place. I don't think I have it lined up with the key. Well, first I gotta keep the stupid thing from going backwards. We'll put the brake on. There we go. All right, so like I said, I don't exactly know where the, okay, I'm actually going to, there we go, try to get this up. So basically right now I'm trying to line up the keyway with the stub shaft. So it looks like it's lined up. Perfect. Okay. So now I'm basically just going to kind of push this back until it gets to the point where it used to be. I gotta figure out what's kind of holding it. You probably don't like my head being in there all that much. There we go. Okay, that's where it was at before. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on just hooking up everything. I'm actually going to spray off all these connections first. So I'm going to inspect all the connections and we'll come back and we'll start hooking everything up. All right, I got all the connections clean and whatnot. Just got them sprayed out and I might as well dry them off. Got them sprayed off and everything. So I can start hooking them back up. So this is the headlights. This, ooh, we have a little bit more electrical work to do. So this wire right here is chafed. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a splice in there. Just cut it off and then splice it. Yeah. So that's unfortunate. I don't know why I didn't see that before, but yeah, I'm gonna fix this. I'm gonna fix this bare wire right here because that's not necessarily good, and then we can carry on, finding all kinds of things. All right, so got our line repaired here. Just a quick little repair. So now what I'm doing is I'm just making sure that everything is lined up right to get in here, because we've got the choke cable to come in, we got the throttle cable that we have to get in here, we got to get our negative battery cable in here, and then we got to connect the fuel line, everything like that. So but I think first what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the ground cable in here. So here's the new ground cable. It's a 25-inch cable, which means I actually might have to, instead of going underneath the battery, I might actually have to go in front of the battery, which is fine. But I'm going to go ahead and get the grounds onto the engine here. Maybe I should put the battery tray in and see how to route this. Boy, I'll tell you what, indecisions, right? I know I need to hook the fuel line up, so we'll do that first. Clearly I haven't thought this out very much. And I suppose at some point I should bolt the engine down. Oh, one thing I have done off camera is I've gone ahead and added oil to the engine. I mentioned that I had not, in the engine cleaning video, I mentioned that I had not added oil, but I had replaced the filter. I have now added oil. So just straight 30 weight, that's what I prefer for these. All right, so next, let's go ahead. Gosh, I wonder how that runs. I don't think that runs under it. I think it's got to run right next to the battery, and the choke cable can run under. Yeah. Okay. So we'll get the choke cable hooked up. We gotta figure out if the choke is in or out. Choke is currently in, so there should be no choke. So, just like that. Grab our screwdriver here. Clamp it down. And then make sure it works. Seems to work to me. Now, what we need to do is we need to, I'm just getting the cottonwoods out of here. I meant to do that last time. Like that. And we're going to connect the throttle cable. Now, the key with the throttle cable is we are going to have to play around with it some to set the RPMs again. So right now it's all the way back. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure that there's no tension on this. And basically the idle screw down here on the throttle, which where my finger's at down here, I don't think you can see it with the camera. But I'm going to make sure that's resting on top of the engine. By doing that, what I'm doing is I'm basically setting the idle. And what we can do is if we need to speed it up a little bit, we can do a couple different things. So if we need to speed it up a little bit from the idle, we can screw that screw in or take it out. So everything seems to work there. A-okay. So that's good news. So now there are a bunch of wires over here that I don't necessarily like sitting there, but that's how the way it is. So now what I think we need to do is, I think I'm going to put the battery box back in and see what I need to do about those cables. And I think I'm going to move you around to the front of the machine. Let's see, make sure that you can see everything. Probably not the best view. Let's see here. So probably not the best view, but I can kind of talk you through what I'm doing. All right, so we've got this. This is our firewall, and it needs to go on the inside, like so. But it needs to go down quite a bit. And the okay, so we already found one problem. Maybe if we do it like this. Oh yeah. See, this is the problem with this kind of stuff, is you have big puzzles. That you're trying to solve. Like this fuel line right here, does it really belong there? I don't know. The fuel lines that came out, the problem is when I got this machine, the mounting tabs on this firewall were on the outside, which is not where they should be. Like this electrical thing, this electrical connection right there is good. This worries me right here, but there's really no other real good way that I see I mean, I don't think it's the end of the world. We'll leave it like that, and because there's some witness marks on the blower housing for the motor. So we're just going to leave it there, and we're going to say that's where it was at. See what happens. All right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to leave this above it. And we're going to slowly start putting nuts and bolts in here. Kind of just walking our way, just leaving them really loose as we go. And I'm just going to go from one side to the other, but I'm going to go front to back because we have to line up the firewall as well as the battery tray. Okay. And my guess is we'll get a little bit more room back when we anchor the engine in, which we're going to do as soon as we get these loosely installed. I just have to find the mounting bolts. I can't remember where I put them. Okay, so there's that part. So now before I tighten those in, we're going to go ahead and mount the engine in. There's no real good way for me to show that to you, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and do that off camera. It's just the 4 bolts and to mount the engine in, and then we'll kind of come back and we'll go over everything that I've done so far, and then we'll finish it up, and hopefully it'll fire up. Hopefully. All right, so it's actually been quite a while and I've gotten a lot done. I have everything reassembled. I have the engine bolted down. I have what I was calling the ground earlier. I have no idea why I was calling it the ground. It was actually the lead for the starter. So obviously that's pretty important. So what we're going to do is, I think now I'm going to go find a battery, because I don't remember where I put the battery that I got out of this thing. We're going to stick it in there. We're going to see if it runs. Probably need a new battery end, but it will suffice. Now I need a 1/2 inch wrench. Evidently I lost all my 1/2 inch wrenches. Okay. We taking bets on whether or not it runs. I think it'll run. Question is if this battery has enough juice to make it run. All right. Okay, let me clear everything off of it. Well, I suppose I need a key too. Moment of truth. Anybody want to bet if there's an explosion? No explosion. Hey, that's good news. So my guess is it's going to take just a minute for it to fire up. Only from a standpoint of it has no fuel in the fuel filter. So let's see if it cranks. We're pumping gas. Really helped, so I took the choke off. So it runs. I definitely think we got to increase the speed here. Well, that's great news. It runs and everything. So now I think we're just down to got to get the air cleaner back on there and button it all up and take it for a test drive. Let's take it for a drive. Actually, first let's test the PTO. Make sure the PTO still works. Sounds like it does. Engine's got a nice little burble to it at idle. Wow, that power steering just makes this thing handle so nice. I mean, just for the 317, that's amazing. It does have some wobble to it, which, I mean, I figured. Get it going straight and stay straight. No, it likes to wander. Oh, it wanders all over the place. No hand steering. We'll see where we end up. Yeah, we're definitely pulling to the left right now. See if we can get going straight down the driveway, stay in this rut. Terrible. Like I'm drunk or something. I think it's just got a little too much slop, so we'll have to tighten it up in some way. But once you tell it to turn, it'll turn. It just doesn't like going straight. So we're going to take our hands off. And we're going to pull to the left or to the right again. Don't know what that was. Ingested air in the system, and that's causing some of this. So we'll just go through some rapid turns here. Alright, well I'm going to drive it around for a little bit and I'll report back when I'm done driving, because I don't have that much time left on the SD card. So I'll come back when I've driven it around a little bit. Well, aside from the wandering, think that's just due to it being loose. So we'll have to work on that some. It sounds really good, runs really well. It does have a intermittent shut-off backfire. It happened 2 times total. I think I caught 1 time on video. No, overall, you know, it runs really nice. Sounds like an Onan. So, yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think I need to, I think the high-end RPMs are off. Pretty sure it's only around 3,000 instead of 3,450. So I will have to do something about that. But I think the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and jack up the front end and see, you know, if I can get rid of some of that. It's got a little bit of creak to it, which that's not unexpected. So anyway, I think that's it for the 317 project for now. I'll try to get some videos of it running when I get it out mowing. Thanks for watching.